Hi, my name is Marie, and this is my neighbor Nicole.
Hi, I'm Nicole.
She's going to be signing for you today because we wanted to combine our passion for art and sign together to make a video celebrating deaf culture. So today we are going to be creating some art to honor the ILY sign. And if you're not familiar with that, we just wanted to tell you a little bit about what it is. So ILY is an acronym, which means they use the first letter from each word and combine it together. So this is the fingerspell I, L for love, and Y for you. So when you put it together, you have I, love, you, ILY. So there you go. It's a friendly sign, and a lot of times with my son who's hard of hearing, we use it when we say goodbye, like at school when he's walking into the building. So if you want to try and use it with some friends this week, that would be awesome. So that is our ILY. Now, I wanted to show you some art that I made. My son and I love hockey, and we went to the Vegas Golden Knights game, that's our local hockey team, and we wanted to use the ILY to hold up and show them that we love the Vegas Golden Knights. So this was the first sign I created, and this is kind of the inspiration for today and what we're going to be doing. And then, if you stick with us through the next couple tutorials, eventually we're going to get to this art, and this is an ILY sign that I used with his hearing aid batteries. You can use anything you have laying around the house, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes. So let's get started. The first thing I wanted to show you is how to make the ILY sign with very limited supplies. We know that this is a tough time and you might not have everything in your home that you need. So we're going to show you how to do this with just some things you might have laying around your house. So the first thing I have is just a piece of paper. And then I have a little backing. This is cardboard. I cut it off a cereal box, but you could use anything you have, Amazon boxes, shoe boxes, game board boxes. It'll make it stronger because when we glue on our little gems or whatever you've chosen, you need to make it strong enough so it doesn't rip your paper. So first thing, you want to measure your paper to match your cardboard. I used a rectangle. And just get your glue and glue on your backing. So that's step number one. Okay, so I'm just going to do that really quickly. We have a lot of glue sticks laying around, so that was handy for us. And I'm doing this very quickly. Make sure you take your time. You don't have to rush. But I just want to get to the fun stuff to show you. So what we're going to do with this is we're going to create a mosaic. A mosaic, and this one is completed, is when we take different shapes and we kind of mix them together. And you can see it comes out looking similar to stained glass. So what you need for this is some colored construction paper. If you don't have any construction paper, feel free to use your white paper. You can always color on it with your crayons and your markers. And you're going to take your paper, and you'll need some scissors. I will be listing all of the materials down in the comments so that you know those beforehand. And then get your scissors. Kids, make sure you have safety scissors. These are a little aggressive. Okay, so I'm going to be cutting triangles. So you just kind of go to the edge and make your snip. And I put all my paper together, so with one snip, I can create lots of different triangles. Then, this is the fun part. You can glue these wherever you want. I usually start on the outside edges and work my way in, but there's no wrong way. So you just match up your triangle to the edge of your paper, and you just start putting them anywhere you want. Any direction, however you'd like. So you can kind of see. And you'll go around and you'll fill up your whole paper. And then, once you have it completed, it'll be nice and colorful like this. So that's step one. Pretty easy. Now, for step two, in the comments I have made a little template of the ILY hand. I drew this, but I also wanted to share if you go into clip art and you're looking for a unicorn or a mermaid, or my son loves race cars, you can do this in clip art. Just make sure it's free, it's not copyrighted, it's open to the public. We don't want you taking any other artist's work. And you can do the same technique and make your own stencils right at home with anything that you love. So I actually drew this one, and I'm going to show you how to use it. So you can print it out if you have access to a printer. If you don't have access to a printer, you can always try to trace your hand too, okay? And that will work. So the first thing you're going to want to do, you'll notice there's 3 colors. You're going to want to cut out right along the black, okay? Don't cut anything else, and you do not want to cut on the dotted line. I know that that's black, but don't cut on the dotted line. Okay, so you're going to go along with your scissors. You're going to cut out the black here. I'm just being careful, taking my time. And if you have some tape, it's nice to be able to tape this down, and you'll see what I mean. We're going to position it on the paper to where we want it. I actually don't have any tape, we ran out, so I'm going to make do. But if you have it, you'll be able to. Okay, I'm almost done here. Now on the bottom of my hand, the wrist is open. I'm going to just cut it wherever I want it to stop. And you'll notice on each of my designs, this one, I put gems on the inside. This one is just left open. So you can kind of decide, do you want the middle of your sign to be longer, shorter? Do you want to fill it? Do you want to leave it blank? Up to you. All right, so once we have the first part of our hand cut out, we're going to decide where we want it on the paper. It doesn't have to be in the center. You can off-center it. You could do it diagonally, more up, more down. If you want to leave room to write something below, like in this one for the Golden Knights, how we put the V, G, and the K, if you wanted to put your name, whatever you want, but you're going to pick where you want it. If you have tape, now is your chance to tape. We do not, so we're going to improvise. And what you're going to do, get it where you want, and then you're just going to trace on the outside edges. If you're very confident, you can use a marker, but remember, if it slips, you're going to have that mark on there. If you're a perfectionist and you like things perfect, you might want to start with pencil, so that way if you make a mistake, you can erase it. I am going to live on the edge. I'm going to use a marker. All right, so I've got my Sharpie. I think this will be a little easier for you to see if I do it in Sharpie. So I'm just going to go right around the edges of wherever I position my hand. And I'm going to trace all around. Remember, it doesn't have to be a perfect tracing because you're going to glue something over top of it. So you're actually not going to see these lines at all. It's just for you for when you glue, so you know where to go for your stencil. I'm tracing over the top of each finger. Line up around the pinky here. Okay. A little harder to do on camera than when you're sitting down normally. Alright, so I'm going to lift it up, and I can see, there we go. Hopefully you can see where that is. So I have the beginning part of my stencil right here. Now for step 2. Okay, we're going to start with the blue finger. Okay, the blue finger. Remember, we're not going to cut along the dotted line. Don't cut that. Okay, so watch. We're going to go down, cut around, and I'm going to stop right where that dash is, where the dot is. You see? Okay. So then, where you see the dotted line, you're going to fold. So you're just going to look. And you're going to fold it right where that dot is. They're pretty symmetrical. The sides are pretty even, the fingers. So it should fold just like that. Okay? So you're going to do that. You're going to find where your outline was. Again, if you had tape, this would be the time to retape it down. Okay? I'm going to do the best I can to find where I left off. Put it back so it fits right in, kind of like a puzzle. And now, this is where you're going to be tracing. Where that blue finger, you're going to come down, around, and up. Okay? So that's what I'm going to do here. Down, around, back up. So now I have that finger right there. And now I need my last finger, our red finger. So for the red finger, again, do not cut on the dotted line, leave it there. You're going to start over here. Go down on the red line. Around. If you cut it off, it's fine. Mine's kind of hanging by a thread. Okay. So then you're going to put it back on. Line up your little stencil to where it was on the paper. Once again, try to do the best you can with lining it up. And if you accidentally cut this off, no worries, it's still there for you. And this time, you're going to trace where the red is. Okay. So I'm taking my marker, holding it down, and tracing right where that red was. So there you have it. You can see the hand on there, hopefully. And now you've got your ILY hand all ready to go. Okay, so here is the best part, and I think the funnest part. You get to look around your house and see what do you have laying around that would look super cool. This type of art technique is called mixed media. It's called mixed media because you're using different materials on one art piece. So that's mixed media. You can use anything in mixed media. So I looked around my house to see what I have. Cheerios, those are going to work great. You can glue those on very easily. I had some different colored dried pasta. If you have little dried beans, you could use that. I have marshmallows. They got really hard and stale, but little mini marshmallows. We found some buttons. I know they're probably hard to see in my hands here. My son has lots of Legos. You could definitely use Legos. We have these little beads. We make bracelets with little beads. We have those. Sequins. You could use cotton balls. Anything you can find that will work with glue. So you're going to find whatever you can. And we, like I said, used some gems. But no worries. It's going to look cool. You can use just one type of material. You can use all sorts of different materials. Like with my son's, how I used hearing aid batteries to create his. I upcycled. I used something I already had, but I didn't have enough hearing aid batteries. So I also combined it with gems. So however you want to do this, there's no right way. So then you just take your glue. Make sure you're really generous. Put a lot of glue. Glue sticks work okay. I would recommend trying to use maybe a thicker liquid glue. But again, I don't have that right now, so we're going to use the glue stick. And I'm just going to use a button to show you. I put the button where the line starts, and then I just keep going along, following my guide, my stencil that I just made. And you can kind of see, and then I can go along and use whatever materials I chose. And at the end, we'll show you how this one ends up. So the next thing we're going to show you, if you want to stay tuned, want to see the next clip, is how to create the background, the painted background, if you're interested and you have the supplies to paint and you want to paint along. Thank you.